Ladies and gentlemen, we finally have a big reason to be excited for something coming soon to Payday 3. The limbo has ended, the silence has ended, and we now have not only a date for the next update, but a bit of an insight into the content coming in it. And thankfully, after all the time we've been waiting since Jacket, the next update will not just contain Armour 2.0, it's going to contain a new DLC heist, a free weapon, there's going to be Twitch drops, and I just wanted to break it all down and let you all know what's coming. Now, the update will be dropping on May 26th. That was announced last week. I chose not to talk about it then because I knew more information would be coming soon based on what Almir had said on his stream. If in future you'd like me to do a video even on the tiniest bit of info like that and not wait for the bigger picture, let me know. But we're going to go through everything in the update and just offer my thoughts on what's been talked about, what hasn't, and just any interesting tidbits from that. Before we get into it, of course, if you are new to the channel, please do consider clicking the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it to stay up to date with all future content on the channel, even though my upload history has not been great in the last few months. But I do have some non-Payday stuff coming very soon that you might find interesting. So with a very brief teaser, I put these photos up last week with Ulf Anderson and Simon Vickland. I have got interviews with both of them, as well as a little bit more interesting stuff to come very, very soon regarding Den of Wolves, which is the heisting game that's in the works from 10 Chambers. I'll talk about all that very, very soon, but make sure that you click subscribe, as I've already said, to make sure you don't miss when those videos go out. Let's get into the blog, shall we? Let's see what they say. And it does immediately headline with Armour 2.0 launching on May 26th alongside the Party Powder heist. They hype up Jacket for a little bit, but I just want to move on from that. I'm more interested in talking about what's actually coming. And we have, first off, Armour 2.0. And they do note, since we haven't mentioned it in a while, here's a preview for those who had time to forget. I mean, without being unfair, everybody has had time to forget, unfortunately. It's been 6-7 months since this thing was announced. Either way, better late than never, it's finally coming in the next update, and they re-explain how it's going to work. There is a blog to go back to, and I have done a video breaking it down previously, but the overall gist of Armour 2.0 is there are going to be 4 different frames of armour. You've got the medtech frame, you've got the specialist, you've got Saboteur, and you've got Mercenary. Each of these will dictate the number of plates you can put into the armor frame, and while it doesn't impact the max downs and plate regen, those are tied to the plates you put within them, your speed penalty, ammo capacity, and consumable slots are directly decided by the frame you equip. Max downs and plates, though, or plate regeneration, sorry, are decided by the plates you pick, and they have now revealed the names for the 3 different plates. The standard shield plates we've had since launch are called resistant plates. The adaptive ones we have with adaptive armor have kept their name, they're called adaptive plates, and the ones that are Payday 2 shields, where they will regenerate no matter how much damage they've taken, are called impact plates. The only small negative critique I give for this, and it is very small, but I think it's worth pointing out, I do think the colours are far too similar between adaptive and impact, not just for like general vision, but also people who are colourblind. I'm hoping colourblind options will make that a little bit more distinguishable, but I do think they're a little bit too close for comfort, and I would rather see this have a different colour. It tells you for each plate what it does to your max downs and the plate regeneration, so how long it will take each plate to regenerate, if it can, and also what it will do to your max downs. I'm sure skills can accommodate that. I need to re-evaluate that, but I'm pretty sure some skills could counter at least some of it. But if you do therefore go for the big frame with the 4 plates, depending on some skills you might be able to get, you're going to have very, very few downs. 0 downs, maybe 1 or 2 based on some skills, but it basically means you're going to be a one-man army, and if you die, you're out. So keep that in mind. With the way that the game is balanced at the minute, it is a little bit easier than maybe the devs intended to originally at launch, with adrenaline and some of the more overperforming guns like the LMG and some of the secondaries. Combine that with shields that can always regenerate, and you've got a pretty good chance of standing up in most gunfights. So the fact that you can't have many downs shouldn't be a major problem. Either way, it shows you in action the GIF for the impact plates. These are the ones that fully regenerate, so it will go down all the way. This GIF has been sped up because it does note about the regen time. When you have 4 impact plates equipped, it takes 12 seconds for the armor to regenerate. That is based on, you know, the number of plates you have equipped as well as the regen time for each one, and those times vary based on the plates that you have equipped. So that's everything on Armour 2.0, so you'll get to try these out in the update on May 26th. Hopefully it does make the game even easier, but it probably will. But as I've said already, it's more about making sure the game is fun and it's getting content. At this point, you can overanalyze and comment about the meta as much as you want, but I'm just more bothered about the game having something new to it. Really, that should be paramount for everything here, and I'm more bothered about that. Next up then, we also have information on upcoming heists. Now, Almir did mention a few weeks ago that 2 heists are in the work from Starbreeze. One was nearly done, and one was a lot more in the conceptual stage, and it looks like Party Powder, which is the name of the one coming out on May 26th, is the one that was pretty much ready when he talked about it. And it leans more into the open-ended gameplay similar to Diamond District, giving you the freedom to tackle objectives your way rather than following a fixed route, which is great. I really like these heists, especially we had a couple in the latter years of Payday 2, like Hostile Takeover, where you could do things in any order. That was great. I loved that feature. So doing things like that, like with Diamond District, is a big win. We've also aimed to capture the grimy, low-rent criminal underbelly vibe we love, which feels very akin to like a Payday 2 heist, which, again, not complaining. You know, people have been calling for more Payday 2-esque things, so you can't complain when they deliver it. Party Powder is going to be a DLC, though. It's not going to be a free heist. I suppose with Armour 2.0 coming out and the free gun, you get some free content that way. There will no doubt be some people who complain and say, why isn't the next heist free? To that, I would just say the last one we got was free, First World Bank, and also Payday 3, as we know, is not... just to recap, very key information here, not to bring the mood down, but to remind you, the game isn't profitable. They do still need to try and make at least a bit of money off the game, so I can't blame them for wanting to charge for the biggest piece of work they've put into this update. Even if it sucks we're not getting as much in the terms of free heists going forward, most likely, I can't blame them wanting to charge for this, so we'll just see what the heist looks like, and therefore we can recommend it one way or the other. As I'm not a Starbreeze partner anymore, I won't get early access to the heist. I'll probably do what I did last time with Jacket, review it live on stream, and make a video afterwards for that fact. So if you're not sure about it when it comes out, I'll stream it. You can see my live reactions and you can decide if that's something that suits you. After that, it does say that we've got a couple of extra things to talk about. Well, one of them is not here, and it's Twitch drops. That is confirmed by Almir. It was mentioned in the last News with Almir stream, and also it's worth distinguishing, by the way, that News with Almir and Heist with Almir are going to be two different streams going forward. News is going to be ones where he has new things to reveal, and if it's a Heist with Almir stream, you don't have to expect any news, which is a good step forward. I still think just having some official stream notes to stop Mage from having to do it every time on Reddit would be a good idea. The fact they still don't do that concerns me, but at least there's some distinction there, and people can come in and say, what's the news, rather than is there news? So we'll take what we can get. But the free content, as well as Armour 2.0, is a new but recognizable gun that we'll talk about more in the coming days. So whatever that is, I'll do a video on it to let you guys know so we can see what it is. Let me know in the comment section what gun you'd like to see for free. I don't know a lot of gun names, and my big thing was getting a Deagle and getting an LMG, so I'm quite happy with that. Whatever else they add, I guess we'll just see. I'm intrigued to see which one they choose. They do also confirm just before that, which is worth noting, they're doing some quality of life features with this update, including the ability to now have overkill weapons delivered straight to your feet via a drone. So does that mean Bow's out of a job altogether? Maybe it does, but either way, it's going to make it more convenient to use those weapons, so I'm very much happy with that. I'm guessing a drone will just spawn in slightly out of vision, fly around, drop it, and bugger off. Seems like the right way they'll do it, but we'll see how it works in execution. They do also then confirm, which, I mean, you can argue that it's sad they even have to say this, but we have more surprises in store for Payday 3 this year, and we're looking forward to share more with you in the coming time. We hear your concerns about the future of the game, so let us be clear, there are no plans to shut down Payday 3. Now, maybe there's a lot of doom posting going on, and this has been a common theory. My stance on the matter was never that there was going to be a direct plan to shut down Payday 3. The problem is just, with a lack of funding, lack of staff, which I've said more times than I've had hot dinners at this point, that eventually if the game continues to not do well and they're not putting much time into it, they may eventually snuff it out by the time Baxter comes out, because what would be the point of carrying it on? That's the problem. You know, if they don't put enough time and resources into it to try and make the game better, not enough people are going to come back. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I don't believe there are ever going to be direct plans to shut down Payday 3. I think if it does happen, it's just going to be a long-term thing as a result of the game just not turning around and Starbreeze deciding it's worth just pulling support altogether. I don't believe there's any direct malicious plans to shut down the game, even though I've disagreed with a lot of executive choices recently. I don't think they've ever been that outwardly concerning for the long-term future of Payday 3. Just more trying to choke the life out of it a little bit more slowly because they're more interested in Baxter. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about a direct plan to shut down Payday 3. My main concern is quite simply how long we got to wait between updates and what's going to come in them. Time will tell. Actions speak louder than words. But at least this update, even if it's taken a while after Jacket, has got a few good things in it. You know, you've got the Armour 2.0 system people have been waiting for ages, a new DLC heist, paid or not, it's still a new heist, a free gun, intrigued to see what that's going to be, and also some quality of life changes. Based on what they've got right now, resource and funding wise, that still seems like a pretty good update to put out to players, so I'm quite keen to see how it plays in execution. Editing Troy here, just jumping in to give a quick comment on offline mode, because I meant to talk about it in the video, and I know some of you will still be wondering what the deal is there. There is no more news for offline mode. In fact, in yesterday's stream that Almir did, he said that we'll get news in offline mode in the coming weeks. Yes, he said the exact same thing that was said 2 months ago. So at this point, as I've said, I'm not expecting offline mode to ever come. If it does, great, but I think at this point it's safer just to assume it's not happening. I still want them to confirm it, but I'm already just making peace with the fact that it's almost definitely not coming. But just so you're aware, that was the most recent comment on that. So that's everything you need to know about the next update that comes out on May 26th. As I've said, any more news comes out, I'll let you guys know, for example, like which gun is going to be coming when they confirm that. And of course, as I've said, stay tuned for the 10 Chambers content coming very, very soon with regards to Den of Wolves and some very cool interviews. I'm excited to get those out. But I will wrap it up here. Thank you all very, very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, make sure you click the subscribe button, as I've said, and hit like to show me you've liked this video and help get it out in the algorithm to more fans. Let me know what you think in the comment section below of everything I've talked about. And aside from that, I'll see you all very soon with a new video. Until then, look after yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.